What is your name?
My name is Kwa.
Can I see your identity card?
I do have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we move to part one. Do you like to have flowers in your home?
I do think that flowers can light up the house a little bit, make it look a little bit better. But if that's too much, I find it annoying everywhere to see like flowers too colorful when like I'm sad, stuff like that, which happens quite usually.
Okay. Where would you go to buy flowers? Why?
No, personally, I am not the. I don't buy flowers a lot. My dad and mom are the person who usually buy it. But sometimes when I go with them, they usually just go to a market where there are like a variety of stores because they think that they are there they will find the most flower.
Mm-hmm. On what occasions would you give someone flowers?
Well, as a tradition in Vietnam, on the 28th of November, the Vietnamese Teacher Day, we usually give our teachers flowers and gifts to pay our respect to them. But also on the on the 8th of March, the International Women's Day, we usually buy our me and my dad usually buy flowers for my mom and grandmother.
Mm-hmm. My father and I.
Never.
Are flowers important in your culture? Why?
Well, not all flowers are important in our culture, but one are like more important than all the other, which is what's it saying?
Lotus.
Lotus. It's basically
Symbol.
it's the flower symbol of
National.
national flower symbol of Vietnam. It
Presents
peace. It presents peace, peace in our culture,
harmony.
peace and harmony in our country, and it's what is the most important flower in our country.
Okay. How often do you watch television?
I I I used to watch television every day in my primary school, but nowadays I barely open up TV at all because I have access to my phone and my computer, which have way more information than what TV have because you have to get the timing right. And when I'm arrived at school, there are basically nothing left except some mediocre movies that my grandmother liked, but I don't.
Which which television channel do you usually watch?
I I am an action. I like action and comedy movies, which Asia movie doesn't really give me that much of an experience except Japanese because anime. But when I was a child, I usually watch Fox TV, HBO, AXN, and even National Geography because as a kid, I like the national life and I want to find out more about them.
Do you enjoy the advertisements on television?
Yes, I think that some, most, especially in like the other countries, other countries' channel advertisement, they are done very well, and they actually only give us good movies or good series to watch, unlike Vietnam, which give us really trash things that nearly never work. So I find advertisement very helpful in channel from other country than in Vietnam.
Mm. Do you think most programs on television are good?
I wouldn't say all of them are, but I enjoy most of them. And usually I only watch it on AXN because it's really the only channel that have like series and stuff like the Blacklist, Hawaii Five O. They are very good shows, but sometimes they show some very like weird and very weird anime to me because to the rise of the isekai genre. I find it kind of annoying that AXN kind of only present that genre of
Ah,
anime.
okay. Okay. Now we move to part two, which you have a cue card, and you have 1 minute to prepare for this. Describe a meeting you remember going to at work, college, or school. And you have 1 minute to prepare. The 1 minute start now. You can write down some ideas if you want to. Keep it while speaking. Okay.
Wait.
You have 2 minutes to present.
So this year at just 1 week before our Teachers Day, we were ordered to go to a meeting down in the assembly hall of our school. I think on the 13th of November. I think that is the Wednesday. That was the Wednesday. Um, then because the standard program and the Cambridge program have different timetable, so we meet at different time. Um, so I am a Cambridge. I learn on the Cambridge program, so there are around more than a little bit more than 100 people there from grade 6 all the way to grade 10. There was no teachers at all because this is supposed to be a secret meeting for us to prepare for our teacher. So there was only Miss Laura, the principal of the school, and the host of this event. At the meeting, we talked about how should we present the presents to our teacher, and in the end, we chose to choose poster and videos to send to pin at the lead to pin at the board at the over at the Cambridge program. We also chose to do a special activity, which is to basically make up our teacher. Like usually they go to work in clothes that are ordered by the school and doesn't wear makeups. But this time around we got to spend 1 hour make up our teacher and make a before and after video.
Okay, your time is up. Thank you. Now we move to part three, in which I will ask you some questions related to the topic we will present. Okay. What are the different types of meeting that people often go to?
I think the most usual meeting is a meeting to talk about an event that will happen in the near future, or a meeting talking about our goal for next month, year, season, and in in a company, I think the most common meeting is a meeting where we talk about what should we the growth of the company.
Mm-hmm. Some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think?
Well, I do agree. I do agree that meetings can sometimes be really boring, and you can't stand it just sitting there listening. And sometimes in a company meeting, which I've been to because it's in one of our programs for some reason, we been to, the manager doesn't let the employees talk, so they don't have any chance to back themselves up, which I think is really unfair because there are some points that should be taken into consideration when talking about other people.
Mm. Or why can it sometimes be important to go to the meetings?
In my second part, I mentioned that we have a meeting for our school teacher on the Teachers' Day. I think it's very important because I think that a lot, not to say all, meetings are very important because they are talking about the growth of the company, for example, or the goal you want to reach in the next month, which which I think is necessary which I think is necessary for the future.
Mm. Why do you think world leaders often have meeting together?
I think the world leaders usually have meetings together because not everyone can think the same ways, and different countries have different situation and need help in some way. That's and just one just one country president can't think about all the countries what they are thinking about, what's their situation are. So I think they should have a meeting to discuss about what they can help each other at, or what the situation is in that two countries or more.
Mm-hmm. What possible difficulties might be involved in organizing meeting between world leaders?
There can be many problems involving, but the most common problems that probably everyone think of is that not everyone can listen to other people's languages. For example, what if the president of Vietnam can't speak English and he had to speak Vietnamese in a meeting with the USA president, for example? The USA president won't be able to understand fully because although we have the technology to translate, it's not 100% um,
Accurate.
accurate. So the president can't really understand fully what the other is talking about if they are talking in different languages.
Any others?
Um, Transportation is also a big thing because some poorer countries doesn't have an airport, for example, and the meeting is very far away, so they don't really have any ways to get there.
E-climate, an element.
Yeah.
E-climate, an element.
Is climate? What? Can you repeat, please?
Is climate an element affecting the organizing meetings between world leaders?
I think the climate can play somewhat a big role because if it's raining too hard or it's stormy, some person will likely to want to be safe and doesn't go on plane that have a risk to fall into the ocean, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that is a big one,
Mm-hmm.
too big of one, because the world government usually have like the really high technology, so probably the plane will have like really high quality. It is really durable and really can't fall that well. Can't fall at all.
Do you think that meetings between international leaders will become more frequent in the future, or will there be less need for the world leader to meet?
I definitely think that because the world is globalizing, meetings should be happening at least twice a year, at the very least, because the world is globalizing and people need to talk to each other to fully understand the situation and help. That's why two countries must keep in communication, else it will break up and can't help each other when it's necessary.
Mm. Okay. Can you name some world problems right now?
Globalization is one of them because although it brings many great things to the world, it also brings a lot of negative things. For example, disease.
Mm-hmm.
For example, disease can evolve and fight back antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What else besides globalization?
um, Can you repeat?
What else besides globalizations?
No, can you repeat the earlier question?
Okay, so can you name some world problems nowadays?
Definitely the greenhouse effect.
In general, is climate change.
Definitely climate change because many scientists found out that if we don't change right now, that right this moment, in 100 to 200 years from now, the world might be completely destroyed. Although the sun haven't developed to its white out form, which will basically consume all planets near the sun.
One more.
Population pollution.
Pollution is one of the
Oh,
problem
the
with climate
increasing
change.
of population.
It's also.
What?
I know. Okay, it's in demographics. Okay, how? Tell me about your understanding of terrorism.
I don't. I honestly don't know much about terrorism because it is like the peace period right now, especially in my country where there was no war. Although 1 2 years ago there was a war, but I really don't understand much. Although but I read some articles online about terrorism in school. I think it's about when a group of people want to stand up to a rule or want to attack some place that have some memorable to them.
Okay, thank you.